Hey, oh, I'm so happy, beautiful Priscilla, to welcome you to the Magnetic Mama Spotlight series. I'm so grateful because I don't actually know you. And I have sneakily just been interviewing my friends on this show, which of course is so much easier. And so I'm so happy because the entire point of the Magnetic Mama Spotlight series was for people like you to come forward and to share your beautiful gifts and connect with everyone. And I have been stalking you. I have looked at your website and gone, wow, this woman is so aligned with me and my partner and our dreams and visions. So welcome, beautiful. And I'd love you to share with us, what do you do?
So now it's changed from what you've seen on my website, but
Okay.
my life part, because now my life partner and I have really fully aligned now on really who we want to serve. So at the moment, we're fully supporting spiritual mamapreneurs to reignite, to reignite deep, passionate intimacy in their relationship, because that's what Pat and I went through together, and we've come out the other side.
Oh my goodness, I feel tantric sex because we're gonna be talking about all this good stuff in the conversation. And you know what? It's so important in your relationship to have this deep spiritual connection, to have this sense of support. And I'm so excited to connect with you today because a lot of people who know me know my story, that I went through a divorce when my little boy was 2. Or almost 2, in fact, the same age as Luna is now, which has been quite challenging, as I see that reflected in, when I cuddle her, I see my son, and I feel this guilt actually that when he was this age, I was about to go through a separation and I wasn't present for a lot of his early years due to that. Anyway, that's another story. But the intimacy I have with my partner now is on a whole other level.
Yeah.
Like we are so deeply spiritually connected, and he's divorced too. So we come to our relationship in a very different space. So I'd love for you to elaborate more on what it is that you do to help couples, because this to me is really fascinating.
So at the moment we're running an amazing group, which I channeled over a year ago, but I wasn't sure how it was going to come into being. And Pat's really helped me, earth it and bring it into my reality, which has been amazing, because I've been always so good at channeling but not knowing how to really make it concrete. And so at the moment we're supporting, we only launched it about a week ago, about 7 mamapreneurs are amazing.
Wow. Right.
To fully embody their divine feminine, because so I've been divorced as well. I had 2 kids with my first husband.
Okay, there you go.
And then,
So knew we were meant to connect today. I knew that.
And then Pat and I fell in love. So we met in high school. And for him, he says it was love at first sight. So when I made a deep commitment to just fully love myself and be loved, and I'm ready, I just made this, concrete decision that yes, I'm ready for this. Then Pat and I just completely fell in love. It was beautiful.
Wow.
And and then that started that journey. But what was I saying before that?
No, it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. And I think the world needs really great role models around intimacy and love and relationships, because we all know that we have our babies and we love them so much, but all our energy and focus goes on the babies.
Yes.
And so what happens is we lose sense of who we are as women.
Yes. Yeah.
And of course, the relationship with our partner has challenged, because the love and energy that went into your partner before you had kids, which was so focused on them and their needs, gets channeled into this beautiful little baby.
Yes.
It's so natural for us to want to be there to serve and to love and to sacrifice everything. But my experience is no. You come first, right? You are the number one priority in your life.
Yes.
Your partner comes second, because you are in a good space. Your kids will thrive. So I'm like, the kids come last. Absolutely. So
How,
what are your views on that?
Oh, yeah, completely agree. And so for me, it was my journey of so falling in love with Pat, then having two babies, like really like bang bang. So we had four kids, we
Oh,
came
wow.
together, fell in love, two kids, and then suddenly it was like overnight and we've got four kids because the two little ones are so close together. And so it
Wow.
was my journey. I was recreating the same pattern that I was creating with my first husband in Pat. I'm going, hold on, there's something going on here.
Yeah.
Because like, there's a pattern here and it's me. Like,
Yeah.
how could he turn into my father just like my first husband? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
so it was a journey in me
Yeah.
fully embodying my divine feminine and then watching Pat step into his divine masculine. It was so beautiful. And so this group was supporting these women to just fully embody and step into their divine feminine, to allow that space, because how do these men step up when they've got no space to step into? The women
Yeah.
are men. Like I'm
Wow.
so masculine.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
so masculine. And how was Pat going to be my man when I was everything? Like I did it,
Yeah. Yeah.
there was
And
no space left.
I so resonate with what you're saying, because I've had to really step away from the mothering so much of my 8-year-old. And I've shared this in other interviews because I believe, I've read Steve Biddulph. He's obviously a very fabulous author on raising boys and girls, but specifically for me, I wanted to know more about raising
Mm-hmm.
boys. And it is so much more about mummy in the first 6 years. And then my son just turned 8. And of course, they need
Yeah,
more role models. So the masculine
yeah,
has to step in. The
yeah.
masculine has to lay down the law and set those boundaries, and mummy can be
Mm-hmm.
there with soft feminine energy.
Yes,
And so that's been a real lesson for me, because,
yes,
to surrender away from my baby boy has been
yes.
quite a hard lesson for me. But it is all
Yeah,
about surrendering. Motherhood is all about
yep.
surrendering. And so
All about surrendering.
it is, isn't it? So when you work with these women, do you work with the men too?
Okay, so we've found that there's not many men that are really open to
Mm,
this. And when we focused on one person in the relationship, whether it was the man or the woman, just focusing on one of them then created that space so the
yeah,
other was safe to be, to step up or to step into. But really, like, I feel like the woman, like, I really see women as a visionary in the
yeah,
relationships. And that if we are walking through a doorway, our man will be right there. If he's the man for us, he'll be
yeah.
right there behind us, like Pat has just followed me, like, to the highs and depths of it all, like,
Oh, it's
like,
amazing.
even when I've just let it all go and gone, you know what, like, if he's not going to step up, I'm totally okay with that. Like, I'm going on this spiritual path, even if like, I need to do this for myself. But he just kept following me. Like, he
I
just
love
kept stepping up.
it.
It's
Yeah.
been just so incredible.
It's so,
And then
so
just
beautiful.
to watch my boys see that as well, like, and yeah, so I've got 4 boys. So you can
Wow.
imagine, yeah. So, like, to me, like, the most important gift I can give them is to really show them, like, a beautiful sacred union,
Yeah.
and a man that's actually a man, like, you know,
Oh, absolutely. And it's
and a
so,
woman that's a woman.
yeah,
If
it's
that's what you feel
so,
safe in, because there are people that do feel they do feel like some women do feel like better in that masculine role. And that's, look, if you're more, and your energy is more masculine, then, that I'm not saying anything is wrong with that at all, but just embrace the part of you that,
hmm,
who you really are. Because for me, I was not in my heart of hearts. Like, it
hmm.
was really draining on me to be in that masculine energy.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. We can't carry everyone around us. And that
yeah,
was a real lesson for me with my ex-husband, actually, was to
yeah,
know that I couldn't fix his
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And I love to fix things. I'm
That's
really
hard,
solution
me
driven.
too.
And it was like, when we were going through our divorce, it was so heartbreaking. But I got to the point where I was like, I
Mm,
can only own my own stuff. And it's
yeah,
up to you to fix you. And look, he's fully gone down that road, and he's really happily married now. And You know, my
There's mine.
yeah, like, and we all hang out, right? Like it's a bit crazy.
Yeah.
We're all in Brizzy. We're living really close to each other, and we can, you know, we hang out and we get on really well. And we have little Luna, and they have Leo, and it's all great, right? Like, really, I'm so proud of our co-parenting skills.
Yeah.
Because it was a very difficult time, but we've really managed to step into our own power and then find real, true happiness from that. And that's such a wonderful, we really feel we're being great role models for our son and also for the community around us, who are really like, wow, that's such a cool story. Yeah. So I really think there's such a place for this work. And I actually just connected with another beautiful woman who's running parenting retreats now and allowing couples to come together and go on these amazing retreats. And then the kids, it's in Bali, and there's activities for the kids, but it's really couples counseling, you know. And I think that's so important, that we do feel this sense of separation after children, and we need to invest in that time to reconnect. So the work you're doing is beautiful. So why do you do this? Like, why do you go out there and put all this energy into something like this?
Like, honestly, I feel like it's not even a choice. Like, it's just pulls me, you know. It's like, I don't even, you know, but it lights me up to see women like just fully embodying their feminine and feeling so good in themselves. And also the children that benefit, like, I just love that. Like, that lights me up. Yeah. And it also lights me up to think of a world that isn't so push. Yeah. Got to be here at this time. Got to do this. You've got to clock in here. You've got to work 9 to 5. You've got to blah, blah, blah. You know, like 9 to 3, kids have got to go 5 days a week to school. Like, my vision for the world is a more feminine, like that balance between masculine and feminine. You know, I see the whole world as being that balance. So start like creating it in the union first between, you know, partners, and then imagine like kids growing up seeing that, and then the whole world having, I'm getting goosebumps because
absolutely. And I love
so
the light.
exciting.
The light coming, like, it's like radiating out of you, and it's like, I just knew I had to be in my hammock today. I just knew I had to talk to you from my hammock, because we were going to have this amazing chat about I don't know, like, I didn't even know, but I was just intuitively like, I need to just be in this space. And so I have so many questions for you, but my first question really is, what does the feminine mean to you?
So the feminine, it's all about the negative, the shadow, the void, the nothingness, the nothingness, but everything, you know, the ebb.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just the nourishment, the nurturing, the receiving, just the love. Just feminine to me is just, it's nature.
It's
nature,
so true.
Nurturing. Yeah,
it's so true. And women really do embody this. They really do hold this beautiful space, but we get trapped in the masculine and and the busyness.
We think it's the only way, especially, that's why I loved working with mamapreneurs, because they think to have a business, they have to push and show up like 5 times a day and whatever the rules are, you know. Hey, how about we break the rules and create something new here? Let's bring in a new paradigm, you know.
And that's definitely happening. Everyone I'm speaking to, really, it's all about this new paradigm, this age of Aquarius, this feminine energy that's really so powerful. And I just want to sit in my hammock and make money. This is what I'm doing this year. I'm just calling in beautiful women to work with me, and we're just going to change the world, right? And I'm going to do it from my hammock, and I really love that, because it's all about surrender.
And the amount of what you can do in the nothingness, like in just being, is incredible. Like, when I really started, to really embody it, it was just incredible. When I let go of everything and just totally surrendered, things would happen still in my life. Like, things that I was wanting to create were still creating, with me actually taking the time for me and doing nothing. And I was like, wow, the ebb actually is magic. And it's like, what's the whole world missing out on here? This magic, you know?
Yeah,
Yes, it's really bringing that magic back.
I'm all about the magic.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm all about the magic. So I want to dive into, I guess, challenges or struggles that you've faced along the way, because many of us, I know we're so busy and we're so distracted and we've got so much going on with motherhood and business, and, you know, people just don't have the space to be, literally to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
And so how did you get to this point? Like, what's the biggest struggle that you've overcome to get you into this space you're in now?
The biggest struggle. Really aligning with Pat, because I had all these visions and I started my business. So I started my business after I free birthed my fourth child, and it was just the most out of this world experience of my entire life. That it's like it threw me into another timeline. It threw me into another reality. I was like, okay, where am I? Like, it's just so incredible. And I was like, yeah, like, you got to quit your job. So I said to Pat, you got to quit your job. We're not living this life of you're going off to work. Like, no.
Yeah.
I was just like, no, things have got to change. And yeah, so I really just started my own business, saying to Spirit, where do I start? What do I start with? That's when, you know, conscious intuitive living came to me. That's where the spiritual mama's alchemy came to me. It all just came to me when I just sat and just surrendered and said, like, what, you know, what am I here for? What's going on here? What needs to come through me? And then that's when I started my own business, but it didn't feel right, you know, it just didn't feel right. It wasn't until Pat and I just fully aligned together. But that was the biggest struggle, because that probably took us over a year to like be completely aligned, where like we're just calling in our soulmates now to work with, you know.
Wow, that's exactly where we want to be, right?
Yeah.
We're actually in a situation where Yako's at home, we're parenting together, we're living this dream, but we need to bring an income, right? We've got bills to pay. Like, the reality of that is quite scary, and I kind of go, you know, I'm sort of in flow, and then I'm kind of like, oh my God, we've only got a certain you know, we're sitting at Centrelink yesterday going, oh man, this is insane. We actually had a date at Centrelink. We were like, actually, you know, spending time without the kids at Centrelink, we're like, this is kind of cute, you know, like we get to hang out together at Centrelink. But, you know, there's the reality, like, how do you do that? How do you live this dream life? And you know, for one of my big struggles is to monetize. So how do you pull that?
That's been out as well. Yeah, definitely. So, I'm at this point where I'm living more in my visions, more in my imagination. To me, that is my reality, more so than what's right in front of my eyes. Because if I lived from right in front of my eyes, we'd be doing things a lot differently. Because you get caught into, you know, you get caught up then in what everyone else is doing to bring in money. So it's really about living in you know, in your heart and in your imagination, that's actually the now, not this conversation. Our imagination is the now, because when you're in that feeling state, what is more in the now than that? When you're feeling, you know, when you feel it all through your entire body, that's, you know, like, so for me, just going into those visions of, like, you know, and living purpose, I just know that it's all unfolding, and just trusting in that more than the bills coming in that we need to pay.
Yep. Because they're coming. Like, we just got one this morning, and I'm like, oh man, you know, like, and it's such a dance that we do, you know, between living in flow and surrender and trusting in the unfolding, and then the reality of, like, oh my God, like, you know, how are we going to make this work? But I know people that do it. You're doing it, and I hang out with people that are doing it, and I'm like, that's what I want. I want this new paradigm. I don't want my partner going to work. I want to live in this flow.
So it's about believing in that one more.
Yeah.
You know, it's about, Yeah, that's been a massive journey for us as well, because Pat only just left his job recently, and it was after an incredible trip we went on where we were just pulled there. Like, we just joked and said, how much fun would it be to sell our second car and buy a caravan in the next couple of days and go up north? And it literally happened within like 2 days. I'm not kidding. And we're like dumbfounded, and we're going, can we just get our car back? Do you think we could just ask the guy if, because all those,
Oh,
everything comes up like, what have we done? What are we doing? But just checking back in, no, remember, like, this was a real pull. Your heart,
yeah,
you've got to follow
yeah,
where your heart's pulling you, even when
yeah.
it's delusional.
Yeah, crazy, madness. This is us moving to Brisbane. Absolute madness. Like, why
Yeah.
are we doing it? Yes, we're
Yeah.
supporting my husband, and yes, we are wanting a calmer life, a quieter life, and we've honestly landed in paradise. Like, without question, like, this downstairs space we have is phenomenal. The neighbors on the street, the kids, like, we just feel so peaceful in our hearts here. Like, we really do.
Yeah.
And I'm so determined. Like, it's like my gut is just on fire, right? I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make this work. And I almost feel like you need to get to that space of absolute sheer determination.
Yeah.
Like, some people call it rock bottom. Like, I don't feel like I'm emotionally going down into rock bottom, but it's like we really have a big need and a big why. And that's where I feel magic happens, because you're thrown out of your comfort zone. You go into this place of feeling very uncomfortable, but then you go into the magic zone.
Yes.
And that's where I want to live. Like, I fully want to live in the magic zone. And you are, and I know many people who are as well.
Yeah.
So what is your greatest source of inspiration?
Greatest source of inspiration. There's just so much.
Yeah, there's so much. Maybe of what's working for you right now in this moment, because of course we shift between emotional states all the time. So I know that if I've interviewed you a few days ago, you'd have a totally different right. And this is what happens. It's like, I really believe the women called to being interviewed,
and that's the feminine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the feminine way. How we felt a minute ago isn't what I feel like talking about now.
I was so grumpy this morning, like little lunatic. I'm well. I've had 2 nights of not much sleep. There was some like dump truck.
Oh, you look great.
Oh, thank you. There's like some dump truck reversing at 6 a.m. outside our house, and when you're just like, I was like full on like mama meltdown this morning. But now I'm in flow because I'm talking to you, and I've been taking Luna out. And this is what happens.
Doesn't take much.
No, it does. Just a very large coffee.
Yeah, so right now is we've been creating the content for the mamas in the cause, and that has just been incredible. We've been starting from the ground up and really like connecting deep with the core of the earth, and that has just just feeling that unconditional love coming up, just being completely feeling that complete, that the universe has your back.
Yep.
That's been my inspiration. But like, usually I'd say my children, but right now I'm just feeling that it's really
so beautiful. It's so powerful, isn't it? And it's so simple, and I think this is something else. This is why I love mindfulness. This is why I love these profound teachings that come from yoga, or that lineage of just being present and being in the moment, because it's so simple, yet it's the hardest thing for us to do in this Western masculine world. Like, it's really hard for us to sit still for 5 minutes without going to put on a wash or doing all the other things that we have to do. So do you have any really practical tips that can help the mamas watching or listening? Because we all want to live in this space. We all dream about living in this space. But how do we physically and mentally get there in the daily grind?
Okay. How I did it was it's going to seem so simple, but this is how I actually did it. This is the truth of it. I started allowing all my feelings and actually feeling them, like to the point where sometimes I felt like I was dying.
Yeah.
Right? Like, all this needs to be done. I've got, I'm homeschooling 4 kids, right? Running a business.
Wow.
All this needs to be done, and just feeling like totally just allowing like everything, laying down, feeling it all until it consumed me. And this is a continual process.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of that surrendering and allowing is magic. It's pure. I can't even describe it. It's like ecstasy. It's like an orgasm. It is incredible. It really is.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, that is my one. Yeah, like that's the biggest. That's the biggest thing that's helped me. Like just that programming that we've had, you know, like it's not okay to feel your feelings. Like push that aside and go and do the washing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, lay down and feel it, because that's what's going to alchemize it. You know, that's where you're going to find the pure magic, not in the pushing through, not in the pushing through. And yeah, my husband stepping up and being that supportive, I say husband, he's not my husband yet.
Same as us. Are you guys getting married?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah, we are too. So I used to call him like my partner, and then I think people were like,
it's boring.
Either you're gay or he's your business partner. And I was like, no, he's and that, but then we were calling each other husband and wife for, you know, and then, but he was like, I don't want to get married again. And I was like, yeah, cool. It wasn't even on my radar. And then we had this beautiful love ceremony for my 40th. And then he was like, I actually really want to marry you. Like a total shift. Right. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. So we talked about love ceremony for years.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. I actually feel like we had our wedding. Because it was just everything I wanted. But now we will make it official. But again, it's something that we talk about, and we know it will happen when it's meant to. We talk about our honeymoon, and we talk about, I mean, it's just, you know, like, and I say to my man, why do you want to get married? Or what was the shift? And he was like, I just feel it in my heart. You know, it's the right step for us.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even on my radar anyway, because he'd said to me, I don't feel like we need to. So this is magic, right? I didn't push at all. My ex-husband, I badgered him into getting married for like 4 years, right? I'm going tick-tock, tick-tock. And the poor guy, I don't think had a choice. But this time around, I'm like, let it unfold. And it did. And so that's so beautiful. And we will plan a beautiful wedding, and it'll be really intimate. And, you know, I just want it to be so natural and organic, and no big, you know, no big shebang. But how beautiful is that, you know?
Yeah, it's so funny because Pat was calling me his lover. So he'd be on the phone at like Telstra. Oh, just go and get my lover. Oh, it was so funny. And people would just like, their drawers would drop, especially if in public, you know.
That's gold.
Actually see that, you know, and he's like, partner is so boring. I cannot call you my partner. And I'm like, I know, but lover, it has these, you know, when people think of lover, they think of like, you know, you're just having sex or something, not, you know, you're completely committed to each other.
Yeah, it's funny, these labels we put on each other.
Hey?
We kind of would always have a joke about partner, and then it was sort of it just became wife and husband anyway. And but when he calls me his wife, which is often, I just love it. Like, I just absolutely, and I will change my name to his surname. But then, of course, my son got a bit upset because obviously, like, Percy is his dad's name. But I said to him, look, Mummy's book is Leonie Percy, Mummy's business is Leonie Percy, and Mummy will keep that. And I actually love separating the two, because I've always blended my family with my business, but now I kind of want to separate that so that I've got like the two kind of lives, right? Like, I've got the personal life, which is Leonie Laukkanen, and that's my family. And then I've got the business, and I kind of like having this like alter ego, you know, like, it's kind of cool. But this is just the ebb and flow, right, of life. And I think that you do what works for you. But we're so aligned in so many ways. So, God, I've just loved talking to you so much. Like, I really struggle to keep these interviews to, you know, 30 minutes. I have no idea how long we've even been talking, but thank you so much, Priscilla. Like, I just am so honored to have shared this time with you. Like, these conversations light up my soul so much. So how can my beautiful mamas, you know, connect with you? What's the best way for them to connect with you?
Well, Pat and I, our website crashed was another path we're going down. It just was not aligned. So yeah, it completely crashed. I was just like, wow, that was a massive sign from the universe as well. And yeah, so now it's really just on Facebook. So yeah, so there's Conscious Intuitive Living, or you can just connect with me personally, Priscilla Bradshaw, or with Patrick Gregson. And we do, like, you know, we talk about masculine, feminine all the time, and everything's really through Facebook. It's
Facebook's amazing.
It's been amazing.
Yeah,
I'm really grateful for it.
Facebook's a great platform. You just have to use it very mindfully, right? Like, I use it for business, and I'm kind of on there a lot, but I'm mindful that I don't sort of go down that rabbit hole I've just wasted 45 minutes, you know, reading things that I can read later. Or it's just using it really mindfully, I think. But having a Facebook presence, as long as people can connect with you. Like, I love my group, obviously. Like, for me, my Facebook group is how I connect on social. So absolutely, I will share that. But thank you so much. I'm so grateful. I just knew as soon as you reached out to me that we were so meant to connect. And thanks for stepping up, being visible, being seen. I really hope it encourages other mamas who have been watching, you know, that the time is now. Like, step into that feminine, you know. It is about going out and shining that light and making change for the rest of your community and your world. And I'll just leave the conversation on this note. I went on a Buddhist retreat, actually, when I was just sort of a year after I'd separated, but it was very profound. I was still grieving a lot. But the teaching was wonderful. It was like, start local and it goes global. Yeah. And I was like, yep. Yeah. Start within your family, start with yourself, and that radiates out into the universe. So thank you, beautiful soul. I'm so grateful. Namaste.
Thank you so much for having me.